In 2005, when this series began, driving schools had no real understanding of how quickly driving itself would evolve. In those days, there were no such things as backup cameras or smartphones with GPS, or certainly there was no vehicles that could parallel park themselves. So schools, like ours, focused on the fundamental physical aspects of safe driving, and we invested a lot of time in things like the meaning of road signs. But now, it's time to wipe all of that away. Wait for it. See what we did there? Kind of visually helping you understand wiping it all away. This year, at the Driver Rehabilitation Center, we're going to be honoring the evolution of safe driving. And that means we will be embracing all of the new technologies that the automotive industry has to offer. Of course, we will still be teaching and testing the lousiest motorists in the nation. And of course, at the end of our series, we will still be naming Canada's worst driver.
Am I clear? Am I? When I hit the car? Oh!
For this, the 14th season of Canada's Worst Driver.
I think just narcolepsy alone makes me Canada's worst driver. Oh.
We received over 600 nominations for our Unwanted Award.
Oh, wow, you're stressing me out.
After speaking with all of them,
Sorry, maybe if I put my glasses on, that might help.
we went out and met the 40 most dangerous drivers with issues that ranged from smoking
Good old habit.
to speeding.
Come on, man, you're doing 200.
In the end, the folks you're watching now did not get accepted onto our educational show because
Sway, sway, sway.
they're not bad enough to be on our show.
Going around a corner.
The 7 people behind me are bad enough to be on our show. How bad are they? Well, one of them is Canada's worst driver.
This year on Canada's Worst Driver, we're honoring the evolution of driving.
So close.
That means this season's vehicles are equipped with state-of-the-art technology.
Too close, man.
I'm talking about cars with multiple screens,
I'm trying.
trucks with trailer-assisted reverse steering,
Much quicker this way, isn't it?
Oh, big time.
and a sedan that can park itself.
Oh.
But before our nominees can be taught and tested in our assortment of fancy vehicles, they'll have to get themselves to our rehabilitation center, which, as always, is located at a defunct airport in Dunnville, Ontario.
To get to rehab, I usually give the bad drivers a list of directions, but this year, as part of honoring the evolution of the technological aspects of driving, we're gonna let you all get to rehab yourself using your own GPS devices.
Yes.
Everybody has one?
Yes.
Yes? Yes.
Yes.
Darius, let's go. You're up first. Why are you here?
I like to drive fast.
Darius likes to drive so fast, he frequently crashes into other drivers.
So is it a therapy issue you need then, or?
No, I don't think it's therapy. I think it's a more so rehab because, you know, I get into accidents and I leave the scene of the accident, you know.
So that's therapy, man. That's mental. You already know that it's illegal to leave the scene of an
I
accident.
didn't at the time, no.
How many times have you done that?
Once that I know of.
That you know of?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Let's just say that I've been caught for it.
How many times have you left the scene of an accident?
2 times that I haven't been caught for it.
And you're claiming you didn't know that was against the law?
At the time, I didn't.
Bull. I'm calling bull.
Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't know at the time.
Mom?
It's bull.
Darius's mother, Jen, tells me he was in a bad car crash when he was 12.
How bad?
Bad enough where someone died.
Who died?
It was like my brother, but it was my cousin. We grew up together.
Does that in some strange fatalistic way play into how you drive now?
Maybe a little bit.
And if you die in a car, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
It might not be you that you kill. It'll most likely be someone else. You gotta stop driving like an asshole and actually, you know, be a change for good in the world.
En route to rehab,
We're doing the speed limit.
Darius drives like an angel. But when we met Darius, there was nothing angelic about the Calgarian.
You can't do this, Darius.
What?
He intentionally ran red lights.
She's red, she's red, she's red.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
He sped past countless people,
Oh, okay, this is getting a little bit carried away, Darius.
and he tried to start a fight in a parking lot.
Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Yeah, you, you.
3 weeks after that, Darius crashed into a light pole. So,
He's got honey.
I don't give a he's doing.
Hey, Butch!
What the?
when we met Darius again for his official bio shoot,
Hey,
You, man! You
he was behind the wheel of his father's truck. And he was still completely grotesque.
I'm just gonna go this way.
no, you can't, honey. Honey.
I do what I want.
Headed for rehab today, though,
Are you supposed to be going this slow, like, honestly?
Yeah, it's 50, Mom.
Okay.
Darius is following my advice to drive safely.
No, you're actually responding to what you heard, and you're driving better just from that man talking to you.
Who wants to go next? Yeah? Any takers? Nope. You're the silentest group ever. Alexis, get out of here. Let's go. So tell me why you're here.
Well, I'm here because I hit lots of things. I don't think I'm that bad. Like, I really don't.
Alexis claims to be skilled, but careless.
Like, I don't pay attention. Like, that's actually my problem is I just don't pay attention.
So you're hoping to get what out of rehab?
Like, I need maybe a kick in the ass. Like, I don't know.
Is that what she needs, a kick in the ass?
She needs a reality check for sure.
Jerry is the professional driving instructor who 5 years ago taught Alexis how to drive.
How do you know her now?
She's
I like would call him whenever I have an accident or like if I get pulled over. I'm like, Jerry, like I don't know what to do. So like I call him often.
Like how often do you get in an accident?
A couple times a year.
En route to rehab, Alexis texts compulsively.
who are you texting?
She speeds constantly,
23 over.
and she predicts that she will learn nothing in rehab.
I don't even think they can help me.
When we met Alexis at home in Thunder Bay, we learned exactly how little she cares. Alexis's third major accident totaled her brand new car.
I turned left in front of a car that was going straight when it wasn't my turn to go.
Who was in that car?
My daughter was in the car, and her side was the side that got hit.
Since that crash, Alexis has continued to drive carelessly with her child.
What's that noise?
That was just my phone.
That's so crazy.
The next Canada's Worst Driver nominee used to drive professionally.
So rehab, why?
I had an accident,
Okay.
and it left me with such high anxiety that I can't go anywhere but in my small town.
All right.
13 years ago, Carleen was hit by a car while strolling through a crosswalk.
I went 15 feet,
Oh my God, okay.
and they weren't sure if I'd keep my leg.
Sounds traumatic.
It was.
Carleen's husband, Daryl, nominated her as Canada's worst driver.
Because of her anxiety. I think if anxiety was gold, that we'd probably be neighbors with Bill Gates.
Immediately,
Oh, I don't like this.
Carleen's anxiety is almost overwhelming.
How close are we?
The Dunnville Airport is just 70 kilometers away, but
Oh, no, Daryl, no.
Daryl has mistakenly set his GPS to the Pearson Airport in Toronto,
My Lord.
which is over 100 kilometers away in the wrong direction.
Look at, oh my God, where are we?
When we met Carleen in Airdrie, Alberta, she told us that she could drive into downtown Calgary
Hard parts coming.
if Daryl accompanied her. But even with him, Carleen ran an obvious red light.
Oops.
She lurched into moving traffic, and she didn't see a pedestrian.
Watch out.
When our director asked Carleen if she'd like to try driving alone,
I'm not putting myself through that.
she attacked her husband, who had nothing to do with the idea.
I knew you were up to something. How cruel. That's just cruel.
When we come back, the rest of Canada's worst drivers hit the road to rehab.
Oh no, I lost my pepperoni stick.
2 nominees for the title Canada's Worst Driver are on the road to rehab.
Yeah, go yourself, asshole. How about that?
And one
I don't know where I am.
is lost.
Right now, you suck.
Meanwhile, 4 more nominees are waiting to leave.
Good to go?
Yeah,
Let's go.
go.
This woman needs rehab.
Because I drive like an asshole.
Like an asshole.
Yeah.
Desi is wearing a hat that says Miss No.
How many write-offs?
At least 20.
How do 20?
Yeah.
Do you want to change, or are you just doing this for everybody
No.
else around you?
No, I definitely want to change.
Needs to change.
Needs
Yeah.
to change?
I think so.
Yeah.
Desi's friend Drew hopes she can be rehabilitated.
Before she kills herself.
Headed to rehab, Desi drives fast. Really fast.
Hi!
At home, 2 hours north of Toronto,
Doing 150.
Desi has almost been killed multiple times.
I flipped my red accent over like a 20-foot embankment. I got T-boned. I rear-ended an old guy. An Escort, I rolled it 12 times. I jumped the curb and then smashed into that tree.
Were you wearing your seatbelt?
No, I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. I was actually pregnant with my daughter at the time of the accident.
Desi has 2 daughters, which is why it's critical that she changes her speeding ways.
I should be dead right now.
Let's go. Rehab, why?
I think distracted driving.
Ryan doesn't just text while driving.
I FaceTime people sometimes.
Often?
I would say like daily.
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 Dave is Ryan's best friend.
All his accidents have been phone related, I think.
How many accidents are we talking about?
Under 40, over 20?
You've, for real, had in the neighborhood of 30 accidents?
Probably close.
Yeah, in my whole life, yeah, I would say so.
If you put the phone down and went the speed limit, would you be okay, or do you still have problems?
No, I think I'd be okay.
So why don't you just do that?
That's a good question.
Headed to rehab, Ryan's phone is in the glove box, and his driving is fine.
Taking the next exit on the right.
When we first met Ryan,
hello, Ryan Whittier speaking.
He drove with a phone in his hand the whole time.
I spend 4 hours a day in my truck.
But when we went back to film his official bio,
You don't have your phone.
he didn't touch his phone once, and he drove perfectly.
You ready to go, Brittany?
I'm ready to go.
Let's go. How many accidents have you had, lifetime?
About 20 to 30.
Guess how many of those accidents involved Brittany holding her phone?
About 20 to 30.
All of them.
Yeah.
Does she have an addiction to her phone?
She definitely does.
Mia is Brittany's sister.
She speeds too.
Talk to me about speeding. You get tickets?
All the time.
On the day we met Brittany, she got a speeding ticket.
Fuck. Here, take that off. He only gave me 138. That's not bad. In total, I've probably had about 50 to 60 tickets, but I go to court and get myself out of it because the police officers most of the time don't show up.
Guess how many times Brittany failed her driver's license test?
Brittany. What? Brittany, there's people right there. I didn't even see them.
Brittany failed 11 times.
What Sorry.
Headed for rehab, Brittany looks at her phone more than the road.
Watch what you're doing, Britt. You're in the other lane. Oh, sorry.
The last Canada's Worst Driver nominee fell off a skateboard last week.
Like when I landed on the elbow, my arm just snapped in two and it just dangled.
Brandon's doctor did not sign the paperwork required for him to be on our show. But the constantly crashing 20-year-old still really wants to drive.
Is this one of the reasons why you've been in so many accidents, because you're downright delusional?
No. I've been in a lot of accidents because, according to Sarah, I don't pay attention.
Why did you nominate him as Canada's Worst Driver?
Oh, because he is Canada's Worst Driver.
Sarah has been in several crashes with Brandon.
He has no respect for red lights, no respect for stop signs, doesn't care about speed limits.
A month ago, when we first met Brandon, he was driving this blue Ford Focus.
Red!
2 weeks later,
Move, yeah.
he wrote that car off while running a red. When we met up with him again in Ottawa,
You just ran a red and you almost hit a pedestrian.
we learned that running red lights is practically a pathological habit for Brandon.
Sorry.
Brandon, you just ran a red.
Because of Brandon's fractured arm, he won't be allowed to drive on our show this year, unless he gets written permission from a doctor.
What the
When we come back,
Oh my God, Mia, look at that.
Canada's Worst Drivers arrive in rehab.
For real?
Okay, so this is where it gets tricky here, Mia. I need you to help me pay attention.
All of Canada's worst drivers are on the road to rehab and on their phones.
He's the navigator. Guess what? Didn't navigate very well.
Except for Ryan, who hasn't touched his phone.
Hold on to your dress.
We're here.
Alexis is the first to arrive at rehab.
Welcome, Alexis. Turn around and back into your parking spot. Don't hit that, though. Jumpins', you gotta be kidding me.
Alexis says that her driving has gotten worse over the years.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
have?
like progressively worse, for sure.
What do you think the cause for that is?
Maybe I just don't care, but like I do care. I don't know.
Do you care or do you wish you cared?
I wish I cared.
All right, guess what's gonna happen next?
What? Do I have to give you my license?
You sure do.
There you go. It's yours now.
To get her license back, Alexis must graduate. And to graduate, she'll have to let us fix her.
I don't think you can fix me.
You think you could be unfixable?
I don't know. I think so.
Woo-hoo, you made it!
Making it to rehab, Darius drove flawlessly.
Is that the best driving that you've seen him do in a long, long time?
Yes.
Is it because that I looked him in the eye and said, you drive like an asshole?
It is.
Is that why?
I think it is.
And your normal reaction to that would be to put your chest out, maybe spit in my face, threaten to clock me, right?
That's right.
That type of explosion has silenced Darius's mother.
Am I off base if I see your relationship and I think you're afraid of him? You're afraid to tell him the truth because you don't want to deal with the explosion?
And I don't like explosions.
So we're going to work on you also being honest instead of just sitting there like a lump when he's acting like a dick.
Okay. I don't like to say things to Darius because I'm afraid I'll upset him, right? And I need to stop. Like Andrew said, what needed to be said, I could have said it 100 times, but I didn't.
Once I get Darius's driver's license,
I'm proud of you already.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
and I confiscate the licenses of Desi, Ryan, and Brittany. Brandon and his broken arm get dropped off in a van.
How many accidents since you got your license?
35.
That's not true.
That's true.
How many vehicles have you written off?
5.
5 complete write-offs?
Complete write-offs, gone, done.
And just so that we're on the same page, he's been driving for only 10 months.
Only one person still hasn't made it to rehab.
I'll drive the rest of the way.
No, this isn't for you, this is for me. Oh, okay.
Carlene is still 100 kilometers off course, but she's determined to finish this drive herself.
I'm stopping again. Stopping again. It's crazy, man. Goes too fast.
Impressively, Carlene does manage to complete the drive.
I did it.
You did it. You did it.
Yes. Now where's the vodka?
That away. Well, that's this year's 7 nominees for the nation's most embarrassing motoring award. Which one of them do you think is Canada's worst driver?
When we come back,
Okay, that's not a good idea. That's a bad idea. Fuck!
Canada's worst drivers run our annual assessment challenge.
Oh my God. This car's terrifying.
Every year on Canada's Worst Driver, we blow a huge portion of our budget on a brand new muscle car. This season, we opted for a Mustang GT. Its 10-speed transmission powers a 460 horsepower motor, which should be sufficient for our annual assessment challenge. As always, the assessment challenge begins with a long but easy reverse through some rims. Then, drivers must get turned around in this concrete corral before finishing their assessment with a 50-kilometer-an-hour slalom.
I'll show you how it's done.
Because this year's theme is the evolution of driving, we've left the Mustang's backup camera on, which is new for me.
But it's 2018, so let's see what happens if I use the backup camera.
What happens is I make it easily through the rim section by splitting my focus between my side mirrors, my rear view window, and my fancy new backup camera.
I'm here to say the backup camera is not a terrible thing.
Getting the car turned around in the concrete corral isn't a terrible thing either. It just requires patience.
That's it.
For the final component, I have to weave around 5 foam figures.
And I have to maintain 50, which should be easy because this is a brand new Mustang. What are we, jumping? I'm over 50 already. That doesn't take long. That's 60. Slow down, young husband. No need to go 60, 57, 56. And I look where I want to go. Between the foam figures, maintain 50. What am I doing now? 51. Absolutely perfect.
The assessment challenge is as easy as ever. Alexis! starts without setting her mirrors.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Did you set up anything
No, because I don't know how.
Alexis also doesn't know how to use the pedals properly.
So here we go. Season 14 of Canada's Worst Driver. The assessment challenge begins.
I didn't think I was gonna hit it, man. Fuck!
Did you adjust your mirrors?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, she's setting her mirrors after she hits.
That's ex-highway cop Cam Woolley. As part of our panel of experts, Cam watches every move Canada's worst drivers make, alongside our high-speed driving instructor, Philippe Letourneau, our therapist, Shamala Kiru, and head driving instructor, Tim Danter.
She has no concept of front-end swing, obviously.
At the end of every show, these experts help me decide who should graduate and go home. At the end of our series, they'll help name Canada's worst driver.
Oh.
Your foot should not go to the gas at all.
Can I just go?
You can do whatever's right. And that's not it. Like, that's not the right thing to do.
Like,
Are you using your mirrors?
I was looking out the back.
Like brand new Mustang. Brand new. That's not a solution to a problem, but interesting choice. Are you scared? You should be scared. She's on your roads, this woman. How did she get her license? How?
How indeed.
So, when we talk about front-end swing, that's what we mean.
I know, but I'm not gonna remember the first time you tell me.
Alexis can't remember to use her mirrors.
No gas. No gas.
She can't remember to use her backup camera.
Fuck!
And Alexis can't remember to quit hitting the gas.
Sorry.
No home shots.
Oh, wait, no, I'm good.
Hey.
I didn't see that. Oh!
It's the lack of care that really kind of amazes me more than anything else.
This is how I drive.
It's time for the 50-kilometer-an-hour slalom.
Where are you going to look during this challenge?
Where I'm going.
She should look where she wants to go, not where she's going.
Oh my god. Oh, this is hard. This is hard. This is...
Good job.
I did, okay. Oh, I took the arm off.
Alexis fails every aspect of her assessment.
I did not think I was gonna total a car day one.
Desi doesn't want to use the backup camera. And she doesn't want to go a speed that she can handle.
I don't know why you'd go that fast.
Instead of slowing down, Desi speeds up.
Look at that.
Bud.
In the turnaround corral, Desi is still rushing.
Get it.
Oh.
And on the slalom...
Okay, let's go. 50. Are we doing 50?
I don't know. Oh.
Desi only steers with one hand.
Oh.
Desi seems like she's tough as nails. But she is definitely human.
Why are you shaking?
Because, yeah. It's kind of like the tree incident. Like, you're turning and then there's a tree there and it's terrifying.
Darius is next.
Who taught you to drive, Darius?
My mom.
But you didn't teach him to curse at people and spit on their car.
My dad taught me that one.
In public, Darius drives in a way that might get him killed. And he says he's okay with dying on the road. Talking with her son about his death wish is something Jen never does. But as part of his rehabilitation as a driver, it's a conversation that must begin now.
I think the root of your personality problem as a driver, being aggressive, being reckless, not caring, all does stem from the fact that you were in a really tragic, awful collision when you were 12. And I think that for you to get past that, it's not going to happen in a day, but for you to get past that, you've got to embrace life and realize that you are alive, and that's nobody's fault that you're alive. It's just a fact. And you shouldn't feel guilty for living, man. It's okay to be sad that someone's gone, but you don't have to wish you traded places with them and try to force that to happen. You know what I mean?
I do.
What are you at?
60, you gotta slow down a little bit. I just wanted to keep it up.
Kid can drive. Driving, not his issue.
Perhaps the issue is Darius feels guilt about having survived the crash that killed his cousin.
The truth of the matter is, I did want to change places with my cousin, and a lot of the time, you know, I felt like I shouldn't be on this earth.
Yeah. I think we all can see these things, but we never say them. And it's really dangerous to not say them when you know that that's the elephant in the room.
Yes, and I'm glad that you spoke about it. Thank you so
Good
much.
stuff, man. Good.
When we come back,
I can't get anywhere.
the rest of Canada's worst drivers run our assessment challenge.
Am I good?
Are you good? No, you're terrible, man. You're one of the worst drivers I've ever seen.
Canada's worst drivers are running our annual assessment challenge.
Oh, I took the arm off.
And Ryan will be doing it without his cell phone. And because of that,
he's fine.
Ryan hits nothing in the reverse section, nothing in the turnaround corral, and on the slalom, Ryan hits nothing.
He could be an instructor.
Broken-armed Brandon cannot drive our assessment challenge unless a doctor signs his insurance paperwork.
So we just got out of the physician's office, and I officially have a signature.
Wow. Well, to give Brandon a fighting chance on our assessment challenge, Tim is now giving him a lesson on driving with a spinner knob.
You've got to adapt your instincts and your timing when you drive with adaptive equipment.
Spinner knobs can only be used in the presence of a professional trainer, or if prescribed by a physical therapist.
And what was the verdict?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Without Tim beside him, though,
There's front end swing for you.
Brandon isn't good at all.
Your front end swing.
Front end swing.
Do you know what your front end swing is?
No. Oh,
Brandon!
Again with the jumping the rim?
fuck's sakes! Me. Where the is the turn?
Look!
I can't.
Okay, look, you can look this way.
I can't find the turn.
Like, he's actually a nice kid. And then his frustration takes over, and he becomes a complete and utter moron.
Sakes! I can't reverse.
Excuse me, I really shouldn't have called Brandon a name.
Ooh.
What I should do is let Brandon describe what frustration does to him.
Oh. I would say whenever my anger gets to a certain level that I have no control.
That's a serious mental problem if you actually believe that you can't control your own behavior.
I agree.
That's mental illness.
I need help, and I'm willing to get that.
Shannon, do you think that's what needs fixed here more than anything else with him?
Oh, for sure. That's definitely one of the main things that has to be addressed. He's got to be able to regulate his emotions in order to be able to drive safely.
I never really thought when I got this gig that I'd be talking about mental illness on a driving show, but we are. Here he is doing the 50K an hour slalom. Well, that's not a mental problem. That right there is a driving problem.
Were you even going 50?
Brandon was going 50, but when he eventually lost control, Brandon was going over 90. Before he drives next episode, Brandon will be seeing our therapist.
He has a lot of mental health issues.
Carlene is so slow.
I can't get anywhere. I said
That after 27 minutes in the driver's seat,
Come on, Caroline, put it in gear and let's go.
she is still in the reverse section.
Ambulance is coming. No time to waste.
Don't say that.
No,
Don't say
ambulance is
that.
coming.
Don't say that.
Emergency, emergency.
No, 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 no. No, no.
The no's continue through the concrete corral.
No! I hurt the car.
You're a beast, Caroline.
Oh, God.
And a bad driver.
On the 50K an hour slalom, Carlene is way under speed.
Oh, and stop. Very good.
I went 40.
Carlene is going to take a lot of work.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Brittany's dog, Tika Bear, is usually draped around her neck when she drives.
What do you think happens if you hit the guardrail going 100 kilometers an hour?
Well, she's wrapped up around here.
Yes.
So my head would kind of go like this and protect her from leaving.
You have a fascinating appreciation of physics.
Really fascinating.
Oh, fuck. I'm so sorry.
When Brittany gets hung up on a rim,
Oh, she's one of them. Got it, got it.
her solution is to shut her eyes and floor it.
Okay, hold on, Mia. I'm just trembling here. I can't do it. I can't. It's not getting out. I don't even understand how I got myself over here.
What did you think when you failed your license on the 10th time?
I've got to get my license.
How many times did you fail the written part?
7.
7. Is it just me, or does it seem wrong that you could fail your license 10 times?
Oh. Mia! I didn't hit anybody. Yeah, you did. Did I?
Brittany finally sees the light.
I should not have my driver's license at all.
When we come back, Canada's worst drivers meet our panel of experts.
Are you Canada's worst driver?
I'm afraid I am.
It's time for our experts to meet this year's Canada's Worst Driver nominees. Starting with unemployed Darius, whose mother pays for all of his driving-related expenses.
Why did you come to rehab?
It was to improve my driving skills and to learn more knowledge of the rules of the road.
This whole process only works if you're honest,
Yes.
right? About where you are, what's changed, what really hasn't changed, what issues we can continue to support you with.
Correct.
Why did you actually come to rehab?
Because my mom wouldn't insure another vehicle for me until I came to rehab.
The way Darius drove on his bio shoot was truly grotesque.
It was as though you were demonstrating what an ass you can be. Is that fair?
That's fair to say, yes.
Tim, what do you see when you see somebody like that on the road?
I see someone that shouldn't be driving. Like, I see someone that literally should be going to anger management or seeking some help before they get behind the wheel again.
Give me a dollar figure on how much damage you've caused to your vehicles and other people's.
At least $20,000 to $30,000.
What dollar amounts are the rest of Canada's worst drivers responsible for?
Hundreds of thousands, probably.
I'm gonna guess 80,000.
Well over $40,000.
It's about 80 to 100,000.
50 to 100.
Ryan's damages all occurred while a cell phone was in his hand.
Can you go home and put the phone and the distractions away?
Absolutely.
According to our rules, no one ever graduates in the first episode of a new season, but Shamala thinks Ryan should get his license back based on the perfect phone-free driving he did this episode.
I think he's learned what he's here to learn.
You think so?
He's identified it. We've identified it.
So you don't think he has any driving skills issues whatsoever?
None.
Tim?
No, I don't think he does either.
We have to come to some form of consensus.
On episode 1?
Yeah.
No.
You just want to stick with the rules? No graduates?
Been doing it for 14 years.
If you guys are fans of the show, you know that at the end of our first episode, no one ever graduates. But will someone this year? Ryan, let's talk about you.
Yes.
When you drove during your bio shoot, you didn't use your cell phone once. And when you drove here to rehab, you didn't use your cell phone once. And both times you drove flawlessly. So, you're this episode's graduate. All you gotta do is put your cell phone away and you're safe. Get out of here, take your man and go home.
When we met Ryan, he was on his phone constantly behind the wheel.
It's at a red light. I mean, I have to entertain myself.
But when we went back for his official bio shoot, something had changed.
I took away the distractions and drove.
Driving to rehab, it was the same safe story.
Once you take the phone away, then it's just skill.
And Ryan's perfect assessment challenge simply sealed the deal.
Put the phone in the trunk.
Be sure to keep that cell phone off, hey? You'll stop running into things. Who will be the next person to turn their cell phone off? That's not really even the real question. The real question is, which one of these 6 people is Canada's worst driver?
On the next episode of Canada's Worst Driver.
Oh!
We learn which nominees don't know where their wheels are. And which ones do. We combine technology and tradition in our first reversing lesson.
You're looking back out the rear window.
Oh my God!
Look where you want to go.
And then it's our most important annual challenge. The eye of the needle.